Hey guys, we're going to do a short video on parallel and perpendicular lines, and we're going to talk about their slopes. So on the left-hand side, these are parallel lines, okay? They go on forever, they will never touch. These lines will have the same slope. So if this line has a slope of 2/3 x, this line I know has the same slope, okay? So they may have different y-intercepts, but the slopes are the same. 2/3 is the same as 2/3. So parallel lines always have the same slope, okay? On the other hand, perpendicular lines, if I told you the slope of this line was 2/3, the slope of the line that's perpendicular, which means all of these are 90-degree angles, okay, it's perfect cross, the slope of this line would be the opposite reciprocal. Well, let me spell that. Reciprocal. All right, which means the opposite, so if that's a positive, opposite is negative. Reciprocal is flipping your fraction upside down. So the one for this one would be -3/2. So let's just do some quick examples. If you have -2/5 for one slope, and I ask you what is the slope of the perpendicular line to this one, you are to tell me, okay, well, that's negative, now I'm positive, and I flip over. So the line that's perpendicular has a slope of 5/2, okay? So 3/4 turns into -4/3, okay? Change your sign, flip your fraction. All right, so let's do some examples. All right, so write the equation of the line that passes through this point, 1, -1, and is parallel to the line that passes through 4, 1, and 2, -3. So we have some things to start with, okay? So the first thing I want you to know is, all right, well, what's our keywords here? Right here. Parallel. Okay, so what do we know about parallel lines? The slopes are the same. But I don't know the slope because they only gave me a line that passes through these 2 points. So I have to figure out the slope of this line before I can even discuss my line. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your slope using the slope formula and these 2 points, okay? So I'm going to have a -3 minus 1, so y2, -3, minus y1, which is a 1, over 2 minus 4. x2 is 2, minus x1, which is 4. Okay, that's going to give you -4 over -2, which is really just 2/1. So now I know the slope of that line. If the slope of that line is 2/1, and my line is parallel, I know my slope is also 2/1. Okay? Now, the second step that we have to do is, now that I know what my slope is, nothing else matters except for I know that my line passes through 1, -1. So I have a slope and they gave me a point. That point is an x and y. Okay? So now we are going to use our slope point formula, which is y2 minus y1 equals your slope times x2 minus x1. Okay? It's the same formula, I just rearranged it. So instead of dividing the x2 minus x1, I multiplied it to the other side. So now it's with my slope. So I have my m, I have one x and one y. So I'm just going to plug everything in. So y2, I'm just going to write as y because now I'm going to fill in y1 with a number, so I don't need the 1 and the 2. So y minus y1. y1 is right here, negative 1. So y minus a negative 1 equals the slope, which is 2 over 1, times x minus x1, which is 1. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up. Y minus a negative 1 is really just y plus 1. Okay, 2 over 1 I can just write as 2, x minus 1. I have to distribute my 2. So this is 2x minus 2. Okay, and I have to get my y alone. So I'm going to subtract the 1 from both sides. Those cancel. And I get y equals 2x minus 3. That is going to be my answer. Okay, so 1, figure out the slope of the original line. 2, figure out your slope based on is it parallel or perpendicular. And 3, plug in, you need the m, an x, and a y to solve for your formula. Okay, and it will result in your equation. All right, let's do one more. All right, so we're still writing the equation of a line that passes through 8, negative 6, and is perpendicular to this line. Well, before I can tell you the slope, it definitely has to be in y equals mx plus b form. This is not. So I'm going to have to change that. 2x minus y equals 4. So I'm going to add my y to the other side, and I'm going to subtract the 4 from the other side. So those cancel. So I have y equals 2x minus 4, and all I'm going to do is rewrite it. So nothing changes, I just swap the sides. Okay? Now I can tell you the slope of this line is 2 over 1. Now, if the slope of the original line was 2 over 1, okay, so our second step is, what's your slope? It says, my line is perpendicular, which means the opposite reciprocal. Okay, so 2 over 1, I'm going to flip it, so my slope is 1 over 2, and it was positive, so my slope is negative. Okay, and then our step 3, so I have my slope, and I have my x and my y. Now I can plug everything in. So y2 minus y1 equals your slope times x2 minus x1. All right, so y minus y1 is negative 6. My slope is negative 1/2. My x1 is 8. Okay, we're going to distribute the half, and we're going to fix this. So this is y plus 6 equals negative 1/2 x. Okay, then what is half of negative 8? So if you go over here, negative 1/2 times a negative 8 over 1. When we multiply fractions, you just multiply the top and the bottom. So negative 1 times negative 8 is a positive 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it's a positive 4. Okay? So now we're going to have to get y alone. So I'm going to subtract the 6. That cancels, and you get y equals negative 1/2 x. And then negative 6, positive 4, you get negative 2. So that is going to be our answer. Okay? So parallel lines, they have the same slopes. Perpendicular, it's the opposite reciprocal. All right, good luck, guys.